In Patient X, we had to put a ship into New York Harbor, and we weren't able to shoot the harbor at night. It was too difficult for us to do. So what I did was I found this ship that we had shot for another episode. This is what the final shot's ultimately going to look like. And I'll show you how we put it together. The basic elements began with the ship that I found from Dead Calm, which was a very cool episode from the second season. The ship that we had shot was in the harbor in Vancouver. We had some lights on it, a little fog behind it. Not too much, but it certainly didn't look like it was in New York. So I went out and I found myself a stock shot of the New York City skyline. And it was actually what they call a magic hour shot, which was at dusk. So we took that stock shot and we made a mat out of it, which basically holds out everything but the skyline in white, and the sky was in black. Then we were able to work with that skyline. I then had to put some little windows into the boat. So I created a window. Literally, it's a little white job like that. Doesn't look like much here, but you'll see it when it gets into the ship. I like this element a great deal. I found this in stock footage. This is a car creating some fog. I love this. Took a genius to figure out how to shoot this, and there you have your fog element. I then took a fog element from an earlier show we did called The Walk. We had some steam that was working in that show, and I took a little of that. Combine that along with the smoke from the other shot with the little car. We then took the ship. We had to track it for putting the composite together. So we, on a little machine called the Inferno, we literally move these little lines around so that as the ship floats in the water, we're able to follow it, because we're going to put a background and the lights in there, and we want to be able to follow the floating movement of the ship. We then took the city shot that we did, a stock shot, and we start to trace out the areas that we don't need, namely the bridge and the water, and we took just the part of the city that we needed. We then composited it against the background. You can see it starting to look night. We're shading it there. Then we took a little of the city and we put it on the right-hand side where the ship would be, because there were no lights over there. So that's really part of the city of New York skyline on the left. We actually put on the right a little bit to make it look like there's more city out there. Now we put that little tiny window that we had created earlier, and we dropped it right into the lower left-hand corner of the boat to make it look like there was somebody home in the quarters down there. Now we added those fog effects that we had earlier and throw them over there. This is still a little early in the process, but it starts to look like it's a little foggy, which we kind of liked. And now we kind of this is just to show you back and forth between the different elements, how we went from one to the other, and we ended up putting our little titles over the top. Now we color corrected it, we put the legend over it, and it ends up looking like this.